Oh, yeah, I know what you mean. That's what we say to Mr. Atlanta class. You were recording this?
Okay, so this is my dependent,
I seen someone episode 2.
my Y.
You finally did the HBO Max system. I got one.
So when you go to your chart, and a lot of you probably remember this from Algebra 2, I'm going to put in my 2, my 4, my 7, my 10, my 14, and put in my Y's. 1.8, 2.2, oops, 1.8, enter, 2.2, enter, 2.4, enter, 3.2, enter, 3.8, enter. Let's see. Got to turn in. Oh, I made my calculator thing too hard. I have to turn my plots on. That didn't work. So I went to my stat button. I went to edit. Now pay attention because otherwise you're going to have to do all these manually. I hit enter for my edit. I put in my X and L1. See the list L1? I put in all my X values. See? All my X values. My independent, I should say. These are all my Y values or dependent values. Then I went to go graph it. And here's a couple of things if you don't get this graph. If you go to your Y equals, see how I highlighted my plots here above my Y equals? You got to turn on your plot 1 and your plot 2s. Okay. Actually, we don't need plot 2, but that's okay. Turn both of those on. And to change the different graphs, if you notice, I had a box plot on there right before. If you hit second Y equals, and it shows the different plots here, okay, the different graphs. If you hit enter again, you can change all the stuff on there, on your graphs. Okay, so I have my plot 1 on. Okay, I need to turn it on. And this is my scatter plot. You got line graphs. You actually got bar graphs, and then your box and whisker graphs, right? And a step graph. So I want to make sure that I highlighted the scatter plot because that's what we want. Your X list is L1. Your Y list is L2. Remember those lists we put in the stat button? And then graph it. And I have mine on plot 2. So yours is probably blue. Pretty cool, huh? Or you can make your own charts like we did yesterday. Remember mine ran into the my notes. Yeah, I should have started it at 40,000. All right, so that's how you can make a scatter plot on your calculator. Fun, fun, fun. Did you say scared?
Yes. Show it.
All right, so let's go to the next one. Let's look at number 3. Okay. Um, this is where we're going to get into your line of best fit, right? So for each of the following scatter plots, sketch a smooth curve. Oh, we could actually curve it. We don't need a line. Through the points to indicate a model you think the data points seem to follow. The line or curve should look like it passes through the center of the cloud of points. It does not necessarily need to go through each or any point on the graph. So this one, for the most part, looks pretty much like a straight downward, but then it gets to the end here and maybe a little curve. We could probably get get away with just a straight line. Let me get a straight line. If I could find one. Let's see if we could do a straight line. Actually, that looks pretty good. Doesn't it? Yeah, actually, it looks really good using a straight line. A lot of scatter plots you got to use curves, and got lucky on that one. How about the next one? This one looks like a growth. Remember the growth functions? Kind of starts here and maybe curves up. Remember those? Remember? Huh? Huh? Huh?
Yes, I remember.
Remember? Remember? This one looks like an upside down parabola.
Oh, what now?
Upside down parabola? Something like that.
Katie, where were you at? I was still waiting for your list yesterday and then shut up again. I'm done with you.
All right. That was easy.
You silly.
Number 4, or actually, here's the instructions. Useful to be able to predict the shape of a graph from a description of a situation when you do not have any points to plot. To do this, first think about what each variable depends on the other, and then consider how it depends on the other variable. Well, we always do that. All right, you ready? Match each description to the graph that you think best illustrates it. Do we have more graphs here or what? Oh, we sure do. All right, 4A. You know what? It might be easier just to draw a graph for each one of these and then match it, huh? Let's see. Match the description and blah blah blah. You save the same amount of money each month on a non-interest bearing account until you reach your goal. Okay, so let's see. Then you leave the account at that balance. You save the amount of money each month. So what do we? What's our input? It's going to be time, right? Or each month, and then we have the amount of money. So the money depends on the time. Let's see. It actually is going to be a pretty constant slope, right? Rate. So each month we're adding, 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 and then we get to a certain point and it stays the same, right? So 4A matches what graph? Probably 2, huh? Or here we go, 6. Definitely 6. So this is graph number 6. You guys know Roman numerals?
I know them after until like 10.
Took me a while to figure out what Super Bowl we were on. All right, number or B. Average monthly temperatures. Here we go again. Our time, right? Our temperatures are gonna depend on what time of the year it is, right? Let's see, average monthly temperatures in a given location. Well, I mean, are we doing it over a period of a year or because if we start in January, then we go to June or July, August, and then we go back down to December. So it looks like a upside down parabola again. Hey, look at that! There's one here in number one, isn't it? So I'm going to say I. Population of bacteria doubles every hour. Well, that's easy. Again, it's all about the time again, right? And doubles. So here's our bacteria. So here's 1, 2, 4, right? 2, 2. 3. Let's say it'd be 3, 4. So it looks like it's going to curve up, right? We're on C. So maybe here we go. There's one. Kind of curves up, right? So graph number 3. And D, the height of the ball each second after it is shot from a catapult. I think we should shoot at a person out of a cannon.
I knew you were going to say that.
Let's see. Here's our height's going to depend on seconds again. So time and then height. So again, he's going to go. It's almost going to go like this, but eventually he's going to fall back down, right? That would be funny if it was a person. Let's see. Huh. We already used the upside down parabola, didn't we? Um, Makes sense to use it again. Or actually, you know what? When you shoot out of a cannon,
No.
it climbs really rapidly and then slowly. So it would. I'm thinking more clearly here. So you climb really fast, but then you slow down, right? So it'd be more like this. Climb really fast, and then you slow down. Something like that. I'm going to go with number 2. I'm going to go with number 2. There's multiple answers for this one. That's that one. E, the number of days needed to build a bridge compared to the number of workers. Let's see. We got days needed to build bridge, number of workers. So our independent is going to be days needed. So again, time. And then we've got the busy bee workers. Let's see, the number of days needed to build a bridge compared to the number of workers. Well, time's going to increase. The less amount of workers, the more time, right? So 0 time, it's going to take a 0 time. So one day, going to need a lot of workers. Second day, maybe not so many because you're completing the bridge. So something like that, right? Hey, maybe we'll just do it this way. That works. We'll say 4. And then F. What's our last graph? I'm gonna cheat. I'm gonna do the SAT thing. 5. All right. So this is gonna be number 5. The number of students on a college campus. Well, right there, it could be anything. If you're talking about kids on a college campus who contract a highly contagious flu virus. Definitely 5. Because they're gonna get it. Then there's gonna be a lull, and then you guys are all gonna party and have college things happen, and then you're gonna get the flu again. So yeah, definitely 5.
You're retarded.
I know. I thought I was pretty.
Being,
I thought I was pretty good about
I think
that.
it's an example.
yeah, honestly, you're setting us up for success. Not music failure. You're setting us
This
up
is
for
pre-warning,
success when
that's
you go to
all it
college.
is, pre-warning.
Oh, yeah. I think as a senior in high school, I think you know what happens on college campuses.
Yeah. I think you should just save the videos and just do narrations. Just cut out the sound and go back over it.
Yeah, just put music to it, right?
Yeah,
Just
just-
overlay it with music.
Yeah, never happened.
All right. What do we got here? Consider the following scatter plots, which show the number of kids per per woman versus the number of elderly per 100 working. I don't even understand this. Number of kids per woman versus the number of elderly per working age adults for various countries, 60 to 15. The orange dot represents the United States. This is the dumbest question I've ever seen. We're not going to do it. So, you guys are ready for your homework?
Yep. You ever figure out how to log us in?
No, not yet.